Well, hi guys and gals, it's me, George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man. We're coming down here to Goofy's garage. Look at the temperatures. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. 72 degrees in the shade. So what I brought you down here for is, last thing we worked on was the steering box over there. We're working on the brakes. Now, we already have this side mounted. That's the one that was already in place. And I have discovered these are calipers, and the master cylinder, as far as that goes, are made for motorcycles and go-karts and stuff like that, but mostly motorcycles. And I already had two of these calipers. I didn't realize they don't make a left and a right hand. And I started making my bracket for mounting it in here, and I was going to duplicate that one, just make it in reverse. Well, can't do that because this is reversed itself. And you can't turn this around because this hole is threaded, that one's not, or vice versa. I can't remember which. So you can't just turn things around. So what I'm trying to do is I'm going to get this so it mounts. Let me get this down in here now. So it mounts approximately the same position as the one on the other side. So they look similar, even though one is reversed from the other. So I started off, I already had this base plate made. That's the same as the other side. Then I had to start to fabricate this, because I've got to have this tipped way back. That's what I'm doing now. I'm going to tack this in place, and I've got to roll this down and get it lined up so it's perfectly lined up. You got to remember now, this bracket here, which holds my axle in place, is not square. It's cocked like this because it comes out here and then it goes at an angle up there to where it ties into the frame. So it's kicked out a little bit. So this has got to be made out of square, but square with my rotor. Can you see that? I've got to make it so it's square with my rotor like that. So that's what I'm doing. I'm getting ready to put a couple of tack welds in it, and I'm going to try it, and then I'm going to see about drilling some holes for that to mount to. See, this bracket here that comes with it is threaded. So that's what I'm up to. Hold on to your hats. Okay, that's a good start. Now, what I need to do probably is take that all off and weld it up. I've got to make a bracket to go down in here for another gusset, because there's a lot of oomph going on here. Mostly it's going to be the pressure is going to be going towards the front, so this being bolted in like this is actually going to be good for it. but I'd still like to put another gusset down in here to help it out. So I'm going to do a little fabricating and imagineering, and I'll bring you back. Okay, so I've removed the rotor so I can get in here with my centering punch, and I'm going to do just that. Put that in place there. Give it a whack attack and another whack attack. Hopefully that got it. We'll find out in a second. Okay, so we're over here now on the drill press, and I just made a purchase last week or 2 weeks ago or whatever, and I bought some centering drills. I see a lot of guys online use them, and I figured, yeah, maybe I should get some too. Look at that, a whole set of them. I don't know which size to use. I guess I'm going to go for a medium small because we don't have a really big hole that we're drilling, and I'll put the rest of them in my drawer with lathe parts because I have that right next to me here. Ow. That looks kind of wobbly. That looks more wobbly than the drill bit. This thing normally is pretty good. Ah, well, it is what it is. Now, my drill gonna go down? No, I'm gonna have to raise my table up. I tried to walk around in my shop here with my welding helmet on. That was a stupid mistake to make. My ceiling gets lower as it comes back here towards the back of the shop. And well, I got part way back here and my head came in contact, well actually the helmet came in contact with the ceiling. See how this works. I'm not impressed. Not impressed at all. Maybe because I didn't get real expensive ones, you know what I'm saying? I think I could do just as well with using a regular pilot drill. That thing doesn't even want to stay in place. Not impressed at all, not with that. 5/16. Looks like probably my center punch didn't, my centering drill didn't help me. I'm going to have to ream this one hole a little bit bigger because it won't quite go through. That's how it's going to go, like that. These are stainless steel bolts that came from a bunch of stuff I got out of the dump. I'll have to show you that. It's a treasure trove. The gift that keeps on giving. Look at all these things. I'm not sure what they were for, but the bolts are just the right size for my calipers. And look at all that. That all came out of the dump. That was in Minnesota. So there we are, all installed. I haven't finished welding it up yet, and I still want to make my gusset to go down in here, and maybe one this way too. We'll see. But that's essentially what we're looking for. Yeah. So that's another step in the right direction. Now the next thing we got to do. Well, hi guys and gals, it's me, George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, and I'm continuing on with my brakes. And I have my brake hoses temporarily routed. As you can see, I have a junction block right here. And if you follow this down here, it comes down to my master cylinder. I've got to reverse this hose so that I have this coming up in here where it will rub, and then that's the supply. Then these are the two lines going out to the calipers. One is to the left side, driver's side caliper, as you can see here, and they snake in through my taillight bracket pretty nicely. And I'm going to replace all of these fittings again. They're all new, but once you've tightened them up and loosened them up, they have a rubber insert, and that gets a little bit fuzzy, as I have found. So I will be replacing all of these. And you can see it comes from this caliper over here and goes over there. So we'll have our two-wheel disc brake. You saw in the earlier video clip that I was working on this bracket here. I haven't finished welding it. I wanted to finish getting my plumbing done so I would have a better idea. So I'm still in the rough up stage or mock up stage. And thanks for watching, y'all. And I wanted to make a special note here to my friend Matt the Scrap Whisperer. He was talking about it being expensive to switch over from propane to MAP gas. Well, all you got to do, Matt, is just buy a MAP cylinder. And they're not much more expensive than a regular propane tank. I did that a long time ago. Same nozzle that you had all along works on here. So, yeah, just a quick tip for somebody else who might be thinking about those kind of things. And I'm going to show you one more thing. Hold on to your hats. We're going up to the carport. Now, I'm up here in my carport, and I had started on this a while ago. I have to replace the drive shaft in this. It's coming apart back in there, making a lot of racket. And the problem I had was I could not get the axle to slide back in here. I had the nut on it, so I wasn't beating up the end of the shaft. And I have a brand new drive shaft right there. But I beat on that thing and beat on that thing, and I sprayed it with WD-40 and I sprayed it with PB Blaster and all them things, and nothing was happening. So I switched over to something else that I had seen talked about by Puddin Creek Rod Shop. And he recommended this stuff, Seafoam Deep Creep. And I want to tell you what, I kept spraying it in there for about 4 or 5 days. I'd spray it in there, spray it down in there, spray it in the back, and hoping that it would work its way into the axle spline, because what happens is the axle gets caught and frozen into the spline here on the hub. Well, I walked by here a couple of days ago and I still had the nut on it, and I sprayed it one more time, and I took my 2-pound sledgehammer, gave that thing a whack, and it started moving. So I kept whacking it and it's come loose. So I highly recommend, it wasn't even budging with the other stuff, I highly recommend this Seafoam Deep Creep. I'm not sure where to buy it. I bought it online. I looked for it at Tractor Supply. They didn't have it. I don't know if my hardware still has it or not. And I'm not going for a ride. I'm not supported or sponsored by them. They're welcome to sponsor me on this if they want. But I thought I'd pass that on, and I'm going to be making a video of finishing this job now that I've got the axle loose enough, and tell you how the old man replaced the front axle shaft on a 1994 Buick Century. Yes, sirree, Bob. I've done a bunch of work on this car. It belongs to my granddaughter. This is one of the last things, and I got an exhaust system to put on it. So, hope this will be helpful to somebody. Deep Creep. It's the thing to use. What's that phrase that they use nowadays? It's the bomb. Thanks for watching. Bye now.